What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got a brand new video with Elon Musk backing out of the Twitter deal, which you can't really blame him. I mean, if you were having the greatest day ever and you thought nothing could ruin it, all you would have to do is hop on Twitter and it'll become your worst day ever, dealing with everyone just saying the most ridiculous things in the world, and everyone on Twitter can barely even talk about anything. So if you want to ruin your day, you go ahead and go on Twitter for a bit. And, can't really blame Elon Musk for backing out and not wanting that. But he did originally agree to buy Twitter for $54.20 a share. And we can see from this that Twitter is suing Elon Musk because he is attempting to back out of the deal for $44 billion to buy Twitter. And Twitter is seeking a court order to force Musk to close the acquisition at $54.20 per share, because obviously the Twitter stock price has absolutely plummeted from that. It's nowhere near $54.20. And a lot of the things they're going after saying, they hurt the business model and all these things. So, but Elon Musk backing out of the Twitter deal, it seems a little weird, but it makes sense if he's trying to get a lower price. The market's absolutely tanked. We know that. Every stock has fallen pretty heavily, and Twitter is not different than any of that. So why would he pay for such an upside in the company that has fallen so far? So if this is a negotiating tactic, makes sense for him to try and do it to pay a lower price for Twitter. But this was his response to Twitter kind of saying they were going to sue him. And it was basically just saying, oh, the irony. So, he is kind of not really caring, I guess, and saying like Twitter going after Musk and everything that's going on is just a little ironic. And he also had a response to the CEO of Twitter, because the biggest thing going on is like the bots problem, and that Twitter said it's only 5% bots, and Elon Musk said there's no way it's only 5%. And then both of them are basically fighting each other over the bot stuff. So you can see this from the CEO. He was talking about suspending bots and saying they suspend or get rid of millions of accounts every day before anyone even sees them. And Elon Musk's response was just, well, that. So they're both sides not really getting along together. They're not on the same page, not really interested too much in each other. I think Twitter feels like they should be bought for this amount now because it's getting close to almost like double their share price now. And Elon is realizing either I want a discount on the company because, you lied about bots, or realizing Twitter is not a good company at all. I mean, I don't even think they make money. So they're not a very good company. Buying them, probably not the greatest thing. Maybe Elon Musk thinks he can turn it around, which maybe he could. But, I mean, it doesn't seem like a great purchase because it's not a great company, really. And Elon also responded by tweeting out this kind of meme here where he said, they said I couldn't buy Twitter, then they wouldn't disclose the bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court. So if we do get something from this, maybe we get the actual bot info, which would be great to see if Twitter's telling the truth or if Elon's onto something. So somebody looks really, really bad in this, and it's either Elon for backing out of a deal on like bot criteria, if the bot criteria is actually, no different than what's Twitter saying, or Twitter looks really bad for many, many years of lying and being a public company and basically lying about their bots and their platform. So somebody loses pretty badly from this. Either Elon looks like an idiot for backing out on news that isn't really real, or Twitter looks terrible and as a company would probably suffer massively if they were proven that their bots are way higher than they've been saying and they've known about it, and that would be the worst case, and Twitter would have been lying to people for years. But here's Twitter's stock price. We can see $37.59 today. We can see basically this is when the news came out that Elon Musk was going to buy the company. The stock price went to $51.70, but that's where it stopped. It didn't go to $54.20, which would be what all the shares would be bought for. So the question is, during this time, even the market didn't think Elon Musk was going to buy the company, because you can see it kind of peaked here and then fell right back down to under 50 and then had this massive kind of fall with the rest of the market down into the 30s. that it's still sitting around today. But even the market didn't believe that this deal was going to go through, because otherwise, why don't you buy it if it goes to $35? That's amazing upside. To get $54, you'd basically get almost $20 more per share that you buy. So the reason it didn't go up is because the market didn't even believe it. And we can see right here, $38.79 for Twitter was when the news came out that Elon Musk was backing away from the deal, and the price plummeted to $32, but it's up back pretty much to the same level, 37 now. So this whole kind of train, basically Twitter's down 18.71%. Maybe a little bit more, a little over 20% from the Elon Musk is buying Twitter news to the Elon Musk is no longer buying Twitter news. We can see here Twitter suing Elon Musk for backing out of their deal, but in its lawsuit, Twitter argues that Musk signed a binding agreement to a deal and he can't simply abandon it. This doesn't make too much sense because there was a breakup fee in there that everyone talked about. It was $1 billion. If Elon walked away from the deal, he would have to pay Twitter $1 billion. Or if Twitter walked away from the deal, they would have to pay Elon $1 billion. So saying that it's binding and he couldn't walk away from it, I don't know where that's actually coming from, because there was a breakup clause in there. So he basically, if he walks away, gives Twitter $1 billion. And I mean, that'll give them a pretty big boost in revenue, but it doesn't seem like he has to go to this agreement because there's the breakup clause. So even if he walks away and he's wrong and the bots were perfectly fine and they told the truth and everything, he still really does have a right to walk away from the deal. Here we can see kind of Twitter's complaints saying the Twitter suit comes after Musk accused the company of refusing to hand over information about the number of spam bots on the platform. Musk repeatedly bashed Twitter, saying that he didn't believe its public statements that about 5% of its active users are bots. That's the big question. Somebody's going to look terrible. Is there actually more than 5% bots? I think absolutely. I don't think many people who use Twitter on a daily basis would say there's only about 5% bots. Especially if you are in the finance space and stuff, then there are tons of bots replying to every single financial either advisor who's on Twitter or financial firm on Twitter, or just financial Twitter with just normal people talking about stocks and investments and Bitcoin and stuff. Then you can see all of the bots trying to scam people for crypto most of the time, and it's just terrible. And they're impersonating other people, the people that are tweeting. So no one kind of has this experience where bots aren't a problem. I think that, it's way more than 5%, and Elon Musk is probably onto something with Twitter's bots being very, very bad. And for some more complaints out of Twitter for how this affects their business and why they're really upset, saying it also said that it expected the deal with Musk or any litigation tied to the deal to possibly scare off advertisers, pressure its share price lower, and lead to an exodus of talent. So this is something that they really don't like, that the deal with Elon Musk, with it breaking up and then either having to go through the courts or whatnot, even just breaking up the deal, it already scared off advertisers. So that's going to affect their revenue, affect their income, and they're not going to make as much money. They already aren't profitable. And then pressuring its share price lower, pushing the share price lower. I mean, we can see that. That's already happened. If we zoom out even more, I mean, we can see almost down 50% for the past year. Even the past 5 years, you see kind of the 2020 rally up here, and then it's just been downhill since. So Twitter kind of, the share price, it's going lower. And even the market didn't really believe that Twitter was going to be bought by Elon. And then the biggest one for them, maybe, is the lead to an exodus of talent. Obviously, companies compete for trying to hire talented people to come in and do coding for them and work for them. And I don't know if that's a big thing for Twitter, because it does seem like a lot of people that work for Twitter either don't really do much, or they're kind of not really great people. So they're not really great talent to begin with. I mean, we've seen the exposés from people and how they treated Elon Musk when he was talking about buying the company, and how much they just kind of went after him as a person and things that are wrong with him. So who knows? I mean, are you really going to lose a lot of talent? I don't think these other companies are really hopping on board and they want the Twitter talent to come to their company. But maybe I'm wrong. But these are the things Twitter is talking about: scare off advertisers, Sure, that probably happened. It'll impact the revenue. Pressure the share price lower. Definitely happened. We can see that. And then exodus of talent. I mean, maybe you lose a couple people that mattered, but uh, Twitter definitely not in such a great spot for the deal. And as a company, they're falling pretty hard. Their market cap has fallen substantially. And now this deal that they were trying to get bought for seems to be gone. So I guess we'll see, especially if this goes through the courts, whether Elon Musk is right or if Twitter is right and who looks bad through all of this. But either way, I don't think Elon Musk can be forced to buy the company. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how they'd really kind of enforce that, especially if there is a breakup clause in the original contract. I feel like that covers him walking away, but maybe he will get forced to buy it. Who knows what happens? But either way, Twitter, not the greatest company out there, probably realizing that and wanting to walk away. Makes a lot of sense. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.